To get notified every time I post a video or go live, hit that subscribe button and then click the bell icon next to it. Hey guys, Jeb here, and welcome back to another video. Today we're doing something different, something I've been wanting to do for a while. As of today that you are seeing this video go live on May 16th, it is officially 1 year after the Black Ops 4 reveal stream that I actually attended, and I wanted to do another reaction to it now that the game has been out for over 6 months, and give opinions on what they said was going to be in the game and things like that, and just react overall and see, you know, point out any lies they may have told. I think this is going to be interesting. I've been wanting to do this for a while, so here we go. And if you were curious where I was sitting, I was on the very far right side of this. I don't think you'll be able to see me. I'm in this section right here near the front. Maybe if you brighten up this section, you'll be able to see me, because I think I'm wearing either my hoodie or a black shirt.
On behalf of Activision, Treyarch, and the entire Call of Duty Black Ops 4 team, it's great to be here with you. Thank you all so much for joining us. Listen, we want to start where it matters the most, with you, our players.
See, the weird thing is him saying this,
a nearly 10-year journey.
it's kind of counterproductive after saying Black Ops 4 release, because they don't care about what the players want and think.
So I want to thank you all for your support and your trust throughout. Thank you.
The thing is, that trust and support throughout, you failed us this game,
Now, that
big time.
trust has allowed us to take a lot of risks over the years.
Yep.
And that support has allowed us to grow Black Ops in some new ways.
There was a
You
lot
come
of good
with us
things
on
throughout the
this
Black Ops franchise, don't get me
crazy,
wrong.
Insanely fun and sometimes mind-bending ride. From nurturing an off-brand Easter egg called Zombies.
Zombies was always amazing. I was addicted in Black Ops 1, I played a lot in Black Ops 2, played a lot in Black Ops 3. Haven't really touched it much in Black Ops 4. I haven't done any of the Easter eggs, I don't think.
Played and that you played with. To bringing you new ways to play, compete, and watch multiplayer. Throughout this journey, Treyarch has never shied away from introducing something new or unexpected to Call of Duty. And breaking
Problem
with
is,
convention
new to Call
if
of
we
Duty
thought
is not
we
a
would
good
have
thing,
fun with it. And that tradition continues yet again.
because Specialist has only gotten
Black Ops
worse.
4 is a living example of what we do best as a studio. We set the bar high, we challenge our assumptions, and we take nothing for granted. And
Which is kind of disappointing, because Black Ops 4 has overall, a lot of people could see as a failure.
Black Ops 4 is a game that gives you more ways to have fun with your friends than anything that we have ever created.
Which I would argue is a lie.
Game in our history.
You had game modes and zombies back in
Now
Black Ops 2. Turned,
Yeah,
things of
let's
that
face it,
nature.
That's saying something, because you guys, well, you guys have played the hell out of the Black Ops series.
Yeah, I will admit that. I've got around 50 days in Black Ops 3
Inspired by your
alone.
passion for
Black Ops
playing
1 and Black Ops 2 probably combined for
together,
70, 80 days as well.
online for months, even years. And today is where we begin to break it all down for you. This is a special day for us, and one we've looked forward to.
Believe it or not, this day I was actually very aggravated for everything I
As you
saw.
can imagine, we got a lot to share.
I wasn't happy at all, to be
So we're
honest.
gonna
Like,
show you
I was actually
more of this
recording my live
video
reaction,
than we
and I
ever
killed the
have.
camera midstream because I got so pissed off and I didn't want to put it up.
This isn't business
I
as
might even still
usual.
have the footage somewhere.
This isn't business as usual. And that starts now with how we're approaching Black Ops 4 multiplayer universe. And who better to do that than Dan Bunting and Lord VONDERHAAR.
I cringed hard when he said that. Yeah, you might be able to see me in this. I was on the far, far right side.
Oh, wait. Hey,
David, what are you doing?
I gotta update my Twitter name to Lord VONDERHAAR.
That was cringy as well.
And
Still is cringy.
Oh, all right.
That was a voice crack
Thank
for you,
you
by the way.
everyone for coming today. We are here so excited
Oh, boy.
to tell you, finally, about this game that the team at Treyarch has been working on for the past few years. Those of you who have not been
And I
with
think
us
it
for
came out in
the
leaks
past
that what we
multiplayer
got
reviews,
was definitely
we're going
not
deep
worked on
today.
in 3 years.
Before we tell you all about Black Ops 4 multiplayer, which is set in a narrative world between Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3, We're just going to show it to you.
But time-wise, a lot of the stuff doesn't make sense. Being like, I think in Black Ops 3, Seraph is like, the kill confirmed tag shows her as being 15, but somehow she exists with everything beforehand. Doesn't make sense. And this right here is where I went from being, okay, I'm ready, I want to see what they want to see, and I'm going to turn this down because of the music. I was, the moment this came into play, I went from interested to I am pissed off. Because there was a lot of people who hated Specialist. I remember, especially in the competitive scene, where people would get fire braked and lose matches and things like that. And I thought it was, especially after Infinite Warfare, we were at a unanimous thing that we did not want to see Specialist come back. And then to see the multiplayer kick in right here, it's just like they took Specialist, something we didn't like, and blew it out of the water to extremes. And like things of this nature where like Ajax can literally block against the helicopter. You wouldn't think about watching that right off the rip like it'd be a big deal, but it's overpowered, right? Like you earn a kill streak and it doesn't matter because it also came down the line when we got the Zero Specialist, how people could just hijack your kill streaks or easily destroy them with EMP and stuff. It was disappointing. Now I will say at Treyarch, whoever is the person who shoots these trailers, they've been doing a damn good job throughout. They make good videos and they make use of theater mode and things of that nature. I will definitely give credit to them. And in my opinion, they're the only one at Treyarch actually doing anything worth a damn. So, good job to them. And I think what I also find curious is the amount of mesh mines coming up. I know it seems like a stupid nitpick, but I think there was already 3 out and then he fired 2 more. I don't recall because I don't play enough multiplayer, but I'm pretty sure you can put out 4 mesh mines, but at one point I wanted to say I saw 5, but I'm not sure. And this, believe it or not, Crash actually had a different way of healing beforehand. Before you could just hit the double bumpers, but in this trailer, and when we played it earlier, he actually had this weird like scanner gun you had to hold on somebody. It was weird, but this is just the nature of it, and it's cool. It's not cool because you see all these cool moments, right? But in game, this is not how any of it plays out, right? Everybody is like camping, they're blocking off paths, they're just, it's nowhere, for me, it has never felt anywhere near as cool as this trailer made it out to be honest. So, I was just right off the bat. And you can see some of the faces on some people, they're not happy as well.
Represents our most ambitious multiplayer to date. It delivers grounded combat, tight gunplay, an authentic military feel, and of course the fluid and responsive controls that you know and love, all wrapped in the most refined tactical team experience that we've ever delivered.
So I'm going to go ahead and just say that all of that is a load of crap. It doesn't feel anything like a military experience. It's not refined movement. It's always clunky and you're getting caught on things. And it's not refined at all. There's always constant issues. You should see the bug list that they've been, like if you go back and compile it since game release to current, that thing has to be over 5 pages, the amount of issues. This is just straight up
deeper and more rewarding experience that will be played for a long time to come.
That's also a bold-faced lie. It's not deeper. It's not more rewarding. We have, what are we up to now? 5 or 6 remastered maps from previous Call of Duties. So, I mean, Black Ops 4 is not deeper in its own. Plus, there's no camp. Well, we're talking about multiplayer here, but we have Nuketown, WMD, Jungle, Summit, Slums, and I feel like I'm missing one because we had 4 that launched with the game. Then I want to say Nuketown got added in, Summit, and we have... Anyways, we have a lot of remastered maps, so it's not like there's a lot. Not to mention they're weatherfied reskin maps. That's not deep. That's not a lot of stuff. And quite frankly, a lot of people are not enjoying it either. And there hasn't been a lot to come either. We're 6 to 7 months after the release of the game, and the community as a whole can agree we're in one huge drought. We're lacking weapons, we're lacking maps, we're lacking anything to drive us to play. So this overall is just completely a stupid statement.
All right.
BUNTING.
Let's just get something out of the way. Are you guys ready? Can you thrust jump?
Happy about that. No thrust packs.
Can you wall run?
There's no wall running, but it felt like the game was kind of built for it in some maps.
Can you confirm we are 100% boots on the ground?
And this right here is a direct 100% lie. Simply because Ruin has a grapple hook. You can literally get up to 2-3 stories. I mean, you've seen different streams with me where I get massive height, do a trick, a spin, snipe people, do whatever. It is not 100% boots on the ground combat. And they You know, that is a bold-faced lie. You might be like, yeah, well, it's only one item. But we have game modes where you could have 2 specialists. So you could have 4 people in one game running Ruin, using the grapple hook, getting massive height, skipping over ladders to get to different high grounds, or not having to worry about stairs at all. I would say this is a bold-faced lie.
Okay. Wow. Look, as we know, you love the fluid feel of Black Ops 3 combat, so the question that we always start
Black Ops 3
with
was
is,
rather fluid.
how do you create a more grounded and tactical experience, but do it without slowing down the player? So that's pretty easy, right? We didn't stop believing in Guns Up.
So the thing about slowing down the player, the comment they make, they added in so much stuff to slow it down, whether it be Firebreak's ability to like bake you, the 9 bang, the concussions, the Guardian from Torque. There's so many things to slow you down.
In Black Ops 4, will you still move and interact with the world in a really fast and fluid way?
Yeah, it's really buggy
You can still keep your
too.
gun up while doing many of the other things in the game, like throwing grenades and using equipment, activating...
Also, the problem though is with gun up, just because you can have it up doesn't mean it's effective at all. So it's like pushing something that is like, nah, does it really work?
Score streaks and mantling. And what's better than doing all of those things?
See, like that clip he just showed us where the crosshairs are literally that close and laser-like, that's just horse crap. That's not how that plays in game at all.
While still being able to fire your gun, and it's doing this while firing.
And right here, this is the #1 thing. Like, while I was at the reveal, they go, yeah, are we 100% boots on the ground combat? Yay! And then they showed this clip where he's literally skipping over, you know, 3 to 5 seconds worth of running with a grapple hook and staying in the air. That's immediately knew when I knew something was up.
Ruin returns, and this time he brought his special issue equipment, the grapple gun, that only he can equip and create a class.
But you can now
Ruin
have
is a
4
specialist
people
with
per
those
game
unique
rocking
ability
it.
to close the gaps and get to the enemy faster. And the combos that you can pull off when you grapple to grab slam have been making the highlight reel inside the studio.
Yeah, because you can get massive height with the grapple hook to where people are a little off trying to shoot you, like a thrust jump, and then come down with a slam. I think you can get higher with the grapple hook than you could with any thrust jump. I'm pretty sure on that. So it's like, yeah, that was a lie.
And we can't wait to see just what you do with this. So specialists are back.
What we do with it is essentially make a lot of people sad because they shoot you X amount of times, then you one-hit kill them. Yeah.
Both new and some familiar, but totally reimagined. Because each specialist brings special issue equipment that delivers unique capabilities to your team to reinforce the tactical gameplay without slowing down the player.
Which in reality, none of it was unique. All of it was just repurposed things like putting the motion sensor from Black Ops 1 as a recon dart, or even we can more equate it to like the portable radar with infinite distance from MW3. You took and got rid of the dog's kill streak and gave it as a specialist thing to Nomad. Like the hives and the mesh mines are close. They're kind of similar. Yeah, okay. But then again, you brought back essentially the old specialist as well, especially like Outrider, and because you had taken their abilities off of another person, you had to give something back that was slightly modified. And then Spectre, as of recently just released, is almost exactly the same as in Black Ops 3, just retexturalized. He still has the lunge with the melee. It's not as good. It's toned back, almost as if they had nerfed, because they nerfed Spectre a couple times in Black Ops 3. And his invisibility can still be the same thing. As long as you stay in the smoke, you can clearly see everybody, and they can't see you. So when you say new and innovative, that's just not true.
And you'll hear about many of them throughout the discussion. But you would be fooling yourself if you thought that they were the main characters of this show.
And they ended up being the main characters, because when the community all screamed we wanted the VSAT, something that existed in Black Ops 1, 2, and 3, they told us no because they have recon and they didn't want it impacting him. So
That's right, because Black Ops is and always has been first and foremost about weapons and the gameplay around them.
And this is another lie, because Black Ops 4 has some of the least amount of weapons we've ever had in Call of Duty games. Even post-launch DLC, especially after Infinite Warfare and World War II, you can even say Black Ops 3, this is so few weapons that if they're trying to make it out to be about weapons, that's just wrong.
It's no different with Black Ops 4. However, with Black Ops 4, we've made more improvements to gun systems than literally the entirety of Black Ops 1, 2, and 3 combined.
And honestly, that doesn't feel true. The guns pretty much function, if not the same, similar to previous games. Some of them just feel like reskins at this point, minus, the high caliber or high caliber 2 killing quickly.
This just shows how serious we are about weapon systems at Treyarch.
And yet, every gun does not have an operator mod yet.
We've designed each weapon as though it's a character in and of itself, which means that we pay attention to every single detail.
But yet, in Black Ops 3, we had the nail gun come out that was more unique than any gun, it feels like, as of right now, if they don't have their operator mod.
Hot barrels are going to ooze smoke. Muzzle flashes are going to burst and light up the room. Bullet impacts are massive, and they connect the player with the game world around them. And weapons, for the first time, have real 3D tracers, which both look and feel incredibly awesome, but they also serve a gameplay purpose because they let you know where the gunfire is coming from.
Which we've kind of had that in a way before. If you go back to, I think, Advanced Warfare, it had paintball mode. I could be thinking of the wrong game, but I specifically turned paintball mode on so I could track where shots were coming from. So having tracers, yeah, it's cool, but it's just like a slightly modified thing of what we've already had.
And animations have been overhauled to make that feel that you know and love that much more responsive. Bullets will actually deplete as you expend the magazine, but that's just the start.
Bullets always have been depleting since you expend the magazine. Even going back to, what, COD 4? You fire a bullet, the bullet goes out of your inventory. Whatever.
This is a small example of the details that we pay attention to our weapons. On the design front, Black Ops 4 is going to break with tradition by giving each weapon its own set of attachments. Now, in the past, attachment sets were shared across weapon classes.
See, I feel like previous games have had weapon-specific attachments, or at least change them up depending on what they were. I definitely can be wrong here. I mean, they've done their own thing here, but in reality, it's like they have an attachment pool, and then they just go, this is going to make this gun broken, so remove this attachment, we'll stick this there, and it's just... It's almost like we wanted all the attachments for all the guns so we could actually pick and choose what we wanted to, and they should balance the weapons around that. But instead, we had limited attachments per gun in a way.
But this is important to us because unique attachments are all about making the gameplay of weapons and what makes each...
Which they're really not unique. Take a look at hybrid mags, for example. In previous games, we could put extended mag and fast mag on. Yeah, it took 2 attachment slots, but we could still have it. It's almost like they just repurposed previous things and trying to call it new.
Weapons stand out from each other. We're also bringing a new category of attachment this game. It's called operator mods. Operator mods are the ultimate expression of a gun's profile. It's going to expand its capabilities in ways that go beyond that core functionality. You're going to see here the Titan LMG laying down some heavy suppression fire. That suppressive effect is only capable through its operator mod. It's going to distort and disorient the enemy on the other side of it.
And to be honest, some of the operator mods on some of these guns are just useless or just annoying. They're not really anything special to make the gun. I don't really see as many people running operator mods. I see like the Cordite with belt fed. That's cool. But like, doesn't the Vapor just have a bayonet on it? Which is like, okay. So there's so many one-hit kill things in the game, especially at close range, that it's like, you can't even really get close enough to use that unless you're cutting a corner, so it's kind of pointless of an operator mod.
Now, I'm excited to say that weapons are further defined by another first in franchise history today. I'm here to tell you, Black Ops 4 will be the first game in our history to use a true predictive recoil pattern system. This allows you to constantly make micro adjustments while aiming and shooting.
But hasn't every Call of Duty beforehand had a specific recoil pattern from the time you pulled the trigger to the time it settled down? It might not have the exact one every time, but there was always a pattern where it like kicks up to the left and then pulls back right, or kicks up to the right and then drifts down. Like, you could spend literally 10 seconds in a private match, see the recoil pattern, and adjust from there. So it just seemed like they were pushing something for the sake of pushing it. It wasn't nothing special in my eyes.
This means that the gameplay of each weapon is learnable. There's a path to mastery that is rewarding for new players and veterans alike. This is by far our biggest investment in the weapons platform and combat systems that we've made to give you the most rewarding and visceral experience by pushing the state of the art on weapons visuals, animations, and sound effects.
But in reality, like tried and true, people will just use the best guns in the game with the best attachments. They're not going to spend time on all of these different weapons trying to have fun with it, right? You know, Cordite, belt fed. You have Rampart, high cal 1 and 2. You have the SOG with, stock 1 and 2. You have the Maddox with quick draw 1 and 2 or fast mags 1 and 2. It's like, people aren't going to like try and master all these different guns and their uniqueness. They're just going to use the best things in the game. So quite frankly, I would say that there was a lot of effort wasted here.
Weapons and health are two sides of the same coin, and you can't change one without affecting the other. And Black Ops 4 adds some tactical depth through a change in the healing mechanic. Healing is no longer automatic. Now players manually trigger their healing process with a dedicated button, and that becomes as central to your gameplay loop as reloading the weapon after a firefight.
So in the end, after this, like, I never had a problem with the healing. The only issue I have with manual healing is that there's two different things. So you can have the base one that you get, or stim shot, and I think stim shot is the broken aspect. If everyone was forced to have the same healing, I think like most CODs, minus I think Ghost had ICU, and there may have been some other CODs that had a little bit something specific to cause quicker recovery. It throws off the gameplay mechanic so much more, because two people get on a gunfight, and you could typically, back in the old days, chase somebody around and maybe finish them off before the regen kicks in. But now that you have stim shot, by the time you take 5 steps and turn the corner to finish them off, they're almost back to full health, and they're quickly recovering, and then that stim shot will be replenished by the time you're back in a new gunfight. So it just throws off mechanics and things a whole lot of nature. It turns a lot more into bait gameplay, where you'll shoot a player and then back off, heal quickly, and he'll come to finish you off, and you'll either easily get a kill, and some people will fall in that a lot. There should have been only one healing speed. Either everybody has stim shot or everybody has the slow one, and in a way, in bare bones, they now have created a hybrid, but definitely was not fleshed out well.
And we like this change because it creates a tactical decision point that simply didn't exist before. So you can disengage from combat and heal up, or you can rush an unsuspecting opponent who may be healing herself.
But then again, you just have people also with stim shot who are literally every time just re-stabbing themselves because it comes up so quick.
And these changes create a more tactical pace to the game, where instead of simply losing to the person who shoots first, you can actually survive a gunfight with smart maneuvering.
Yet the tried and true problem, like with every Treyarch game, shoot first, die first, and insta-kill deaths, still a massive problem.
And this means you spend more time in the part of the game that's the most fun, which is the combat.
And the combat is not the most fun because there's so much specialist garbage if you play the specialist game mode that it's just not fun, and especially when Zero got introduced to get rid of your score streaks that you actually earned.
Aggressive players still feel rewarded for being aggressive. And
that's a bold-faced lie, because you're always having to deal with a lot of BS you have no control over, with random spawns, people changing the spawn locations, pathing being blocked off. It's probably one of the most noob-friendly CODs we've had.
Tactical players can actually choose when to disengage and look for a better opportunity to strike. Our journey into the health mechanics has evolved and doesn't end just here. Let me introduce you to Crash. And Crash is a medic. And this means when his ability is ready to use,
as you can see right here, the
actually
how it
restore
used to
and give
work.
bonus health to players for a limited time. And Crash is just more than a medic. He also distributes a salt pack, which resupplies his team. And no doubt the folks at home are already breaking down that MP trailer, and they've already figured out what this one's like.
And I just want to point out the reason we could not have the VSAT added in Black Ops 4, and I've mentioned this before, was because of Recon with his Vision Pulse and the Dart. But Crash has healing and a scavenger pack. Scavenger still exists in the game as a perk, and you have your healing mechanic, 2 different variants. But keep in mind, we weren't allowed to have a score streak because a specialist would have been affected, minus a specialist already being affected.
So we've taken a completely fresh look at the health mechanics of a Black Ops multiplayer game to insert tactical decisions and some much needed pacing into that gameplay loop.
So far we've talked about some really fundamental building blocks of what multiplayer and what makes it awesome. You got movement, weapons, health systems. We're going to take it up a level to situational awareness. Situational awareness covers the gamut of what you see and hear in the game, from the minimap
Fog of War,
to the sounds that your footsteps make on different surfaces. We've experimented with all
and yet
sorts of
Treyarch's
modifiers
audio
that have
system
impacted
is
this
still
over
one of the
years.
worst out of all
And
the
in Black Ops
devs.
4, we embrace situational awareness as a fundamental feature to the game. We're introducing
Especially
a
in
new system
BlackOut.
called the Fog of War.
And so Fog of War has been a hugely controversial thing, and I, quite frankly, I'm not a fan of it. I have no problem with the map being a little bit darker. I would be fine if, like, as per usual, when 2 people get into a gunfight, they light up on the minimap. But the thing that sucks the most is when a player, like, looks past an area and spots someone, that person will get dinged on the radar, and that's not something I'm okay with. Because, like, you could just have literally people just looking around and you're getting lit up on the radar.
Only the parts around on the mini map, the Fog of War reveals a radius around the player and his or her teammates. As you'd expect, enemy players are going to reveal their positions when firing a weapon
There's
unless
that
they're suppressed.
recon
and many of your
dart.
favorite score streaks like UAVs and counter UAVs are still going to do what you expect them to do. But what the fog of war does, it creates more opportunities for teammates to communicate and work together for the win. Now I'm going to introduce you to another new specialist. His name is Recon.
The
Recon
the
is an
specialist
expert in situational
caused us
awareness.
not to have
His
a
special
VSAT.
issue equipment is called the sensor dart. When he shoots the sensor dart into the world, it clears a large radius around it that both he and his
And
teammates
his
can
ult
see.
was nothing more than
It helps you to
Outrider's
locate enemies.
ability from
He also
BlackOps 3.
has
Nothing
vision
new.
pulse, which makes a return from BlackOps 3, but this time around it's a little bit different. The whole team gets the benefit of it.
Yeah.
So with effective usage, these
So it's even more broken. Instead of it being tamed down to one person that you can actually counter them, you have to counter the entire team, especially if you're like in a no respawn game type. They're all going to know where you're at. So like you playing tactically and skill is thrown out the window. You're just essentially going to be playing like a horde mode where everyone's going to be rushing you. There's nothing you can do about it. Whereas if it was just a single player with that ability, that's fine. You could counter them. You know that you can set up a position with 2 doorways, watch them, take them out. You know there's one person coming, but this was
mechanics
just...
together can be a clutch way.
If anything, it removes teamwork because the teammates don't have to communicate where the player is. Instead, everybody just sees them.
To snag victory from the jaws of defeat. Situational awareness is as important to the gameplay loop as weapons, health, and movement. And as with the other fundamentals, we're giving you, the players, access to these tools to control your own gameplay loop.
The flow of combat is how movement and weapons and health and situational awareness all come together in the head-to-head gameplay. Spawning, pathing, level design.
Spawns are screwed
all of
because
these
you have
things impact that flow.
Seraph's ability.
You might remember Seraph.
Yep.
She has
Speaking
a
of the devil.
tac deploy, and this is a team-wide spawn beacon that allows Seraph to command offensive control over that flow of combat for a period of time.
But in reality, what would happen is you'd have a lot of people do a huge flank and completely avoid any fighting, drop the spawn beacon, and like a good team could immediately be in a spawn trap situation just because one person snuck around and dropped it. We used to have tactical insertion back in the day where the only that player we'd respawn there, but having an entire team spawn on just a single location will destroy gameplay and gameplay flow, especially the spawning mechanics that are built into the map. Now you're going to have people just spawning willy-nilly. You'll be having people spawn on top of each other, and it was a very stupid thing to add into Black Ops 4.
And this is Torque. Torque is the master of disrupting that flow because he can lay down razor wire and create deployable and improvised cover with his barricade.
But in reality, Torque just turned out to be a lot of the camping players using it, whether they go into the tower on Seaside and just, you know, put two razor wires in the stairwell and then put a barricade up at the top to head glitch so nobody can even get close to touching them. It wasn't to kill the flow of the map, where sometimes some Torques will do that. It's mainly people just camping behind it so they can try and avoid being killed for long periods of time because they couldn't get their score streaks otherwise.
And one last one. Over the years, we've experimented with the idea of area denial in various ways. And in Black Ops 4, it's time to stop playing around.
Which is stupid. You want to do an aerial denial. It's fine doing that with streaks, kind of like the napalm from Black Ops 1. Like if you need to take an objective and a person has earned that, they can block off a path for 10 seconds so that somebody can get the objective. But having it where things are freely given to a player to where they can alter the map's flow for an advantage they never earned, that's bad. That's stupid thinking.
Firebreak makes his return and makes area denial a part of that gameplay loop. His special
And so for the people who hated him during Black Ops 3 with his just one-time burst, now you got to deal with him for a while, and not to mention, you can't heal.
issue gear, the reactor core, allows him to do just that. And Firebreak can even trade his own health to extend the clock on that time. So we've combined the best designs in how level spawning and flow control work together to influence the gameplay loop, and then we place those tools not in our hands, but into the hands of you through the specialists.
Which a lot of people hated and made us call for a no specialist game mode that we only were able to get a mosh pit of 5 to 6 months after the fact because they wanted to break up the flow and the gameplay loop and make things unique, but really it just made for shitty gameplay and frustration. So
And the story of Black Ops 4 is not one of a single game in development, but rather the combined journey of the entire last decade of Black Ops. And you, the community, have been with us every step of that way. Every game that we make is an opportunity for us to do better.
And they didn't.
Continue the dialogue.
They
that we
did
have
worse.
with you, and you know that we listen.
I know some people won't agree with my statement, but I think Black Ops 4 is not only the worst Black Ops game, but one of the worst Call of Duties ever made, period. Especially with post-launch support and microtransaction crap.
You expect that commitment from us, and this is why we do what we do. So I think we've covered all the details. We've pretty much given...
So much for commitment, though, because they're not even really listening to the community either. So they're just committed to, you know, making a game they want to make and not something that people actually want to play.
Away the secret recipe to our multiplayer experience.
Are you sure about that?
What'd I miss?
Just one little thing. Just want to tease for our competitive community, and that is the return of League Play.
League Play, the thing that wasn't there on launch, that came out in what, February? So like 5 months after the fact, and not to mention it was broken upon release, didn't actually reward the most skillful players, but really rewarded the people who just put in the most time to play it. That League Play?
League Play is a fan favorite, and we've combined the very
Black Ops
best parts
2
of it.
League Play
and we're
was a
gonna
fan
deliver it
favorite.
for all the players of Black Ops 4.
As Mark mentioned in his opening remarks, we're doing some things a little bit differently this year, including how we tell stories in each mode throughout the game.
No campaign. So yeah, different.
Now we're delivering more narrative and character depth in multiplayer than ever before.
No, you didn't. Now, like, how many people here who are watching this video, did you actually play any of the specialist stuff? I haven't. I haven't even looked at it. Because, like, most of the specialists we had from Black Ops 3, and they did have some lore there.
And we're also going to give new and returning players the ability to learn and master each of these specialists in solo missions. These missions feature a series of fun and fast-paced trials.
I haven't
that give
even
a hands-on introduction
thought
to the new
about
returning
playing them.
specialists, while exploring the stories.
You know, instead, you could have woven a good narrative in a campaign, giving us a little bit of backstory about every specialist, having them mesh together, some cool missions, but instead, you gave us the crap you gave us.
Behind their identities and their backgrounds inside of a Black Ops narrative. Now, with each game, the Black Ops players have spent more and more time in multiplayer, and it's important to us that we go bigger
That's
in that
fair.
experience.
Black Ops 1,
and
Black Ops 2, and
expand the
Black Ops 3,
narrative universe around it.
I maintained
Here
increasing my
is
playtime.
Just a glimpse into that universe.
Not bad.
Not bad yourself.
Okay, is this zombies time? So, I'm not much into zombies, but if I recall correctly, Factions was promised, I think, and we have not seen anything about Factions since this reveal. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and skip over all the zombie stuff because, like I said, I'm not a zombies channel, and I've seen a lot of them who do a lot of ranting. I can just easily point out that Factions doesn't exist for the most part. So we're just gonna go ahead and skip ahead past it because I think there's a lot of talking. If you are the people who follow zombies a lot, if you want to leave some comments down in the comment section below, if you go back and watch this reveal trailer, and let me know what you think that they lied about or didn't do in regards to zombies. So we're going to go ahead and skip past that. I mean, I love the Aether storyline, and this right here made a lot of people happy. Because there was actually people on PC trying to remaster Mob of the Dead, I think on the Black Ops 3 mod tools. So that, I was actually hyped about that, and I've only played Mob of the Dead a couple times, or Blood of the Dead, and I haven't even done the Easter egg.
In my day-to-day,
And we're back
I have to work with those
to
people.
VONDERHAAR.
Listen, I'm gonna make this put it really simply for you. This is a super serious year for us for Black Ops 4 on PC.
No, it wasn't.
And we're excited to share that we have a completely dedicated team with our friends over at BLACKOUT, and they're making the most robust, most refined, most customizable PC shooter experience that we've created.
And yet, it didn't come with mod
And we're
tools.
also excited to announce that
Technical
Black Ops
BS.
4 will be the first Call of Duty title ever released on Blizzard Entertainment's Battle.net platform.
And it's going to be the #1 game on the Blizzard Battle.net platform. That
Now, we're
is
working very
dead.
closely
Dead,
both
dead.
with the dedicated PC team at BLACKOUT as
Died
well
quickly,
as
too.
Blizzard to make sure that this is an absolutely great experience for our PC players.
And it wasn't.
Let's take a closer
PC
look.
players are pissed off. There's nobody playing, so they can't play the game. It was a waste of their
Black Ops 4
money.
is really a celebration of our community and something we've wanted to do.
Celebration of the community. Remember that quote. because they don't give a shit what we think, apparently.
For a really long time is focus on PC as its own unique platform and give PC gamers what they deserve.
They deserve mod tools. You gave it to them in Black Ops 3. You didn't bring them here in Black Ops 4.
I think that's going to show through in every part of it.
We've developed a really strong partnership with Beanox, in addition to Blizzard, who have been tremendously helpful in bringing the game to the Battle.net platform, and that's a first for the franchise.
In a way, could hurt COD because it was already established on Steam. It's kind of like how Epic is buying up other games to be exclusive on their platform. It should have stayed on Steam. I mean, it's cool that you wanted to get it on the Activision-owned launcher, but the player base was already... it was bad. I have Black Ops 4 on PC, by the way.
Blizzard have been friends with Treyarch for many, many years. When it came to working on Overwatch, we consulted with Treyarch on a number of features.
It's the first-person shooter Blizzard has ever made, so hearing their advice really helped us build out our game. And it's really exciting that we can welcome them onto the Battle.net platform, because Call of Duty is...
Is Overwatch not considered first-person? How... And it has a lot of shooter stuff in it.
Of Battle.net, I think it's going to be pretty amazing.
Technicalities, but questions.
Is going to be fully integrated with all these social features on Battle.net. You'll be able to add friends, talk with your friends.
I'm just gonna go ahead and skip ahead because it's the same story. No mod tools and the game died quickly. It's your atypical COD thing. Okay. So I think this is just when they were about to announce BlackOut, if I recall. Yeah, this is where they announced BlackOut.
It's the game that lets you play with your friends in more ways than ever before. And we all love Black Ops for that combat experience. But imagine if we take that experience you know and love, and we spin it on its head, and we drop you into a large, massive world where you have to survive to be the last man standing.
Which is kind of a funny thing looking back at all these images, because some of these specialist things, yeah, I don't like them being in BlackOut, but they didn't exist in BlackOut for the longest time. And I think there's still a couple specialist weapons maybe that don't exist. I don't want them in there, but it is what it is.
Let's just pause here for a minute. I don't have to describe to you how Battle Royale works.
Yeah, because there's been a lot of successful Battle Royales that came out before this game, and Fortnite was killing it at the time.
These games are no secret. We play them too. But for us to even consider this kind of experience, it had to be unique and done in a way only Black Ops could do.
But in the end, it really wasn't unique. I mean, if you go back to Minecraft Hunger Games, and in a sense of Black Ops could only do, the whole idea of combining Black Ops maps into a one large map, I think there was a couple servers that actually did that did had Nuketown and Raid and all the things like that. So yeah, it might be your own property, but it's not original.
Now we are doing this, but we are doing it the Black Ops way.
And when he says Black Ops way, in other words, audio is broken in game. It still is. It's very hard to hear people in different things. It's buggy as hell. You have bad hit detection. You have bullets not hitting at all. They definitely did it the Black Ops way.
A survival game with the best, most refined mechanics in the world.
And that's a bold-faced lie, because they are not refined at all. Don't you just love it when you're driving your ATV through the desert and you hit a couple rocks and it blows up? Even though it's an all-terrain vehicle and it's meant to get bounced around a lot. Or, you know, you just hit nothing. I mean, I mantle air all the time in game. I'll literally be running up a mountain and all of a sudden I mantle nothing. So, yeah. Bull. That's a lie.
Our signature controls and gameplay systems and the kind of fast-paced action that only Call of Duty can deliver.
And it's not fast-paced action. It may have started out with some game modes being fast-paced, but it really is turned into a camper game mode like PUBG, if not worse. You'll have people who will literally drop in on one building, loot it up, and just not move. In fact, when VONDERHAAR started showing off Alcatraz, he admitted he likes to drop in, loot up, and lock the building down. It's filled with a lot of campers. It really is. And the circles in the late game move so slow that it doesn't force people out quick enough.
All in the biggest map that we've ever made, over 1,500 times bigger than Nuketown.
And in reality, that equated to, you know, what is it, about the size of Fortnite? the Fortnite's map.
And this is just the beginning. We're bringing to bear 10 years worth of Black Ops universe features. That's your favorite characters, your favorite weapons, and the most iconic parts of your favorite maps. And we're
Last time I checked, people did not love Turbine from Black Ops 2. You had some snipers who enjoyed it, but it wasn't a fan favorite map at all. Neither was Hydro. At least if for snipers, they enjoyed that for going for the spawn trap. But I don't remember a lot of these areas being fan favorites.
putting them all in one place, a crazy collision of fun, and then we're going to let you navigate that world with land, sea, and air vehicles. This is something that you have not experienced before.
But we have experienced it before in other games, you know.
Let's keep it rolling. Do you remember your CIA handler, Hudson?
Yeah.
Or maybe you remember that very first, very sweet RCXD kill. The numbers, Mason.
The funny
what do
thing
they
is the
mean?
RC car was just to make noise and couldn't even blow
Or
up in
that
BlackOut.
time when you partnered up with Reznov for revenge.
Most of which these challenges are extremely
And which of
hard
these
for some
multiple
people who will
endings
never
did you
get it.
experience with the Menendez? Or how about that one time when you worked with your friend Woods to take the Hind?
I know a lot of people can't get that challenge because you have to
Now,
also place top
should
2.
probably mention this one too. Your favorite Zombies cast.
And I've been rocking Rick Toffin right there the entire time just because of his
This is
voice
something
lines.
Totally new.
Which I don't know what that is up on that mountain. I don't.
This is doing Battle Royale the Black
So
Ops way.
so if we pause right here, this is interesting looking at this map. We might need to go back just a touch. Let me see if I can get this forward. Because looking at what they have here
Should probably mention this one
versus what is the actual
favorite
gameplay, I'm pretty sure this map is
Zombies cast,
completely different.
weapons and gear too.
Let me see if I can pause it at the right time.
This is something totally
Okay, so this, I don't know what I think this is actually supposed to be raid, I want to say. It looks like it because you have the overhang, but in the grand scheme of things,
new.
it wasn't up on a mountain. You have cargo, which that crane is not there. There's 2 down cranes and there's a boat. That's not accurate. You have turbine. Let's see if we can zoom back out. Let's see if we can get a little bit of this. The river, this is not how it's located anyway. The hydro dam is not up there. You have 3 bridges. There's no river town. Like, what they showed off
This
here
is doing Battle Royale the Black
is-
Ops way.
yeah, I mean, look at the river system that moves this way. It's like its own chunk. This is not the BlackOut map we actually ended up getting. So it's safe to say that this, I would say during May, they were still trying to throw this thing together because this is so far from what we have. And it would have been so much easier to just show them an overhang.
Blackout!
Yeah, this is BlackOut, where it has a lot of very painful, annoying issues that constantly progress. We still have broken bag issues, and it's been out for 7 months. All right, we are in the last 5 minutes. Let's see what they have
There
to.
it is, the game that's been designed for you, the Black Ops community.
Bullshit! Bullshit! That I'm just calling straight bullshit. It wasn't designed for us, and things that we want to change and ask for, we still haven't gotten. Hey, BSAT, hello.
It's the deepest, most replayable game we have ever made.
That's a bold-faced lie as well, because they released with 9 new maps and 5 remastered maps, and even in the season pass, they're giving us new maps that screws the matchmaking algorithm. Plus, they gave us 1 remastered map in the season pass, which is stupid as if we're only getting 12 maps from the season pass, they should all be new. If you want to be nice and give us old maps remastered, that's a whole different ballgame. They're also giving us weatherfied maps and trying to act like it's new content. It's definitely not one of the most replayable games I've ever seen. If you want to call BlackOut, sure, as replayable, but even then, it's starting to get really, 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 really repetitive, and they're not changing it up enough. So, replayable, Black Ops 3 has my most replay value, to be honest.
Across the 3 pillars of Black Ops 4, multiplayer, zombies, and our new mode Blackout.
All of which every community has been screwed in one way or another. There's no factions in zombies. They're giving out these crappy gauntlets from what I'm hearing. The maps they sucked in the beginning. I think people are happy with the way they're turning around, especially with the latest Ancient God theme map. Multiplayer is so lackluster, it's practically dead other than the hardcore COD fans, and it's just...
All right.
It's bad.
Look, it's all about having fun with your friends, right? More fun than you've ever had before. Black Ops 4 doesn't have it.
And unfortunately, it's not more fun than I've ever had before, at least for me. Could be for some people, but I've seen almost all of the people I used to play with have stopped playing this game in general. So.
Traditional campaign, we're weaving narrative into each of the modes. And we've added unique ways to play solo and...
Yet they didn't weave really any narrative into Blackout. You just drop in, loot up, and try to win. There's not really a narrative there.
Multiplayer and zombies, regardless of your skill level. So, if you're a veteran, we're get ready to test your skills. And for those of you who just...
Yeah, because there's matchmaking in multiplayer that kind of screws over the good veteran player who's put in the time and effort, especially team balancing. You'll get screwed one way or the other, especially if there's a party in your game.
If you want to ramp up on your own, we got you covered too. This is a game for every kind of player. It's a game that's built to last for years to come.
And that is my favorite line. This is a game to last for years to come. And I feel like this is the most dead a COD has been in these past years. I want to say it's more dead than World War II was at one point before they revamped it.
And we can't wait to play it with you. So thank you. Look, I want to give a shout out to our friends at PlayStation. Thank you guys so much for this incredible hardware setup that you guys are going to experience here today. And thank you, PlayStation, for your partnership with...
And we did end up playing it very soon afterwards.
On behalf of everybody at Treyarch and all the developers, as well as Activision and our partners, a massive thank you. Thank you to everyone here. Thank you for coming from far away. It means a lot to us. And of course, to those of you watching from around the world, it's not going to be long. We'll be back, don't worry, before we're sharing more with this amazing community again. Now, let's check out that multiplayer trailer one more time before you're getting your hands on it with it next door.
It really feels like a kick in the balls with him saying thank you a lot, because it feels like we're being screwed over the most. And I'll go ahead and repeat that. Zombies had things promised, don't have it. It's lackluster. They're putting out content way too far in between. Multiplayer lackluster, and a lot of rehash old stuff. It took us forever to even get bare bones. They're refusing us to give us streaks just because it impacts the way they want their game to play, despite player numbers falling off left and right. They're screwing us with microtransactions on a level you could argue worse than Black Ops 3, because now the reserves are only one item and supply drops used to be 3. There's no weapon contracts. There's nothing able to do it. So it kind of sucks to them to be on that stage and go, thank you to the community. We're going to bend you over now, right? It feels insulting.
Let's take a look at Black Ops 4 multiplayer.
And yeah, we saw the multiplayer trailer once again. So yeah, this is reacting to the Black Ops 4 reveal stream from exactly 1 year ago today, and all the disappointment that ended up being Black Ops 4. I understand that some people really enjoy Black Ops 4, whether they like the multiplayer or they really are addicted to Blackout, but when you step back and just look at all the things they said and how the game was going to be, they are night and day differences, and it's really disappointing. When I arrived at this multiplayer reveal, I thought it was going to be an homage to the Black Ops namesake, the best from every game we've had so far. No advanced movement, no specialists, and in the end, it was just kind of like a rehash kick in the teeth with a lot of the worst parts of all the previous Black Ops games. So I was very disappointed and pissed off at this event overall. Maybe I'll go and see if I can find my footage. I'll link my video that I made there at the multiplayer reveal if you want to see it. But this has essentially been a react to it. Quite frankly, overall, what we were told and what we got is completely different. So leave a like. This is going to be quite a long video. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see y'all later. Peace out.